Call the meeting to order. Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton.
Here.
Trustee Dodge.
Here.
Trustee Calandrello.
Here.
Trustee Healy.
Here.
Trustee Katsinas.
Here.
Trustee Milani.
Here.
Mayor Pico.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of March 1st, 2021 Committee of the Whole minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton.
move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Committee of the Whole of March 1st, 2021.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge. Aye. Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Grassland Regional Flood Control Pond Expansion.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Milani.
move to approve accepting the bid for the construction of the Grasslands Regional Flood Control Facility proposal from Schwartz Construction Group, Incorporated of Countryside, Illinois, at an amount of $668,014.39 plus $60,000 contingency for a total of $728,014.39.
Second. Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello. Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Orland Park Perks mobile app launch.
So can you please give us the update on the mobile app launch?
So we had an idea probably about a month ago to do something quick, something inexpensive, and something that we thought would help local businesses. So we came up with an idea to do an app called Orland Perks. Now, what Orland Perks is it's a mobile app, and every business in Orland Park is listed on it. We created several topics or categories. You can click on the categories, as we said, over 1,200 businesses. You would select your interest, or if you're searching for something as simple as pizza, you could put in pizza, and all of your options would come up. You find your perk, which is what we call our little coupons or deals, and you click on that, which all of the businesses that have perks will feature a money symbol, and you can tap the heart icon to get back to your favorite perks. So the reason for the creation was to simply drive business to our local commercial entities. We've discovered when working on our new website that 80% of our interaction with residents and businesses was done via phone or tablet. So what this app will do is provide a completely free marketing tool to local businesses. It'll increase the in-person and web traffic to these businesses and help connect our businesses with our community. So the way that we initiated the contact with businesses to let them know is we sent an email to all of our local businesses and suggested that they send in a coupon or a perk, and they upload it using a form site, which is a digital form, and then we approve that and then update the app to reflect that perk. So as we said, the app is completely free for users and for all of our businesses. This week, we will start an email campaign once we've worked out all the little bugs to the residents and businesses, and we'll also start a social media marketing campaign. And the app is available on the App Store and Google Play. Want to put it on the page? So we're going to show you where we are with the app right now.
Mayor Pico,
Trustee Dodge.
are we doing this or is this for board discussion?
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
So it's a very low cost. Most of the work was done in-house. Just another business promotion avenue.
Mayor Pico?
Trustee Dodge?
I get it, and it's an idea that was been kicked around for a while, and I'm assuming that this will be hosted by someone else as opposed to anything we're doing, because the previous IT director didn't really want to do app development. He thought it would be better to have a mobile-ready website. So I assume that you guys have done all the internal research and verified all that from previous ideas?
I don't know anything about previous ideas. All we know is in this situation, there was a municipality, another municipality that worked with this developer, an app developer, and we piggybacked off of that idea. So like I said, it was a very cost-effective, and it's a legitimate app on the Apple Play, on the Apple and Google Play.
I think it's a wonderful idea to support but I have a question for our attorney. Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
What are the implications for the Village of Orland Park in terms of the privacy data that's collected from this app from the residents who download it?
Now, that's not an answer I can give you tonight.
But we're doing this, correct, George?
Yeah, we are doing it, correct.
If I could, and when someone first downloads the app, because we've been on the app before, it didn't give us the first initial screens, but when someone first downloads the app, they have to consent to notifications for the app, and they have to consent, and we're not collecting any data, so we're not gathering data, we're not asking for an email, there's no login screen, so there will be no data directly collected from the app.
The industry has something known as mobile IDs attached to every phone. So commercial data vendors will know someone is logged into this app, and unless the person affirmatively turns off ad tracking and location setting, this app will leak their data. I just want to make sure the people of Orland Park understand the potential privacy implications of doing this through effectively a government-sponsored app. That's my point.
So obviously, we're not making anybody get the app, so they have to voluntarily download the app themselves. So it's with all apps out there. It's the same type of.
George, I'm sorry. With all due respect, we're a government. If we're going to operate in full transparency, let's make sure people really understand what they're doing when they download this app and who gets the data and where it goes.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
There is a page that leads directly back to our Shop OP website that has full legal terms and conditions that have been provided to Kleinthorpe and Jenkins. Once they download the app, we also have a feedback button, so they can give us their feedback and let us know, if there's something they see, if there's something they would wish we would include in the future. That's one of the options, if you can go back. And then you can highlight your favorites. So our categories are favorites, shopping, dining. So here's our favorites. And once you click on one of your favorites, if they have a perk, which this one does, you can click on the perk and see what that is. And then you say, okay, I'd like that Pick 6 deal. You can either go to a map, and the map will bring you to the location, or you can go directly to the website of the business, or you can call the business directly from that page. So what it does is, it eliminates the whole need to Google, what do I want? I want ice cream, what's open right now? I can call them, I can visit them, I can get directions directly to them, or I can visit their website for a full menu. And that's about it.
Any other questions and comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani?
This is great. I mean, this is something that we talked about a few years ago on the Technology Commission as well. We wanted to have an application where we could showcase our local businesses, our restaurants, and be able to provide some type of interaction with consumers so we can actually continue economic development, draw new people in, and, kind of give something back to the community. So I think this is great. Two questions. It looks like obviously that the businesses will be able to advertise promotions and things like that. But are there any kind of like a rewards program or anything like that? Because I could see this being in the future, not saying let's go figure this out right now, but maybe there's a way we can tie this into the Shop and Dine Orland Park program if we decide to run something like that again, so we can actually track it so people don't have to send in their receipts, things like that, just a way to maybe expand.
It's good feedback, and that's something we can look at. Right now, it's not set up for that?
Well, right now, it's directly tied to Shop OP. So we've already got it set up where we could very easily do that. So there are buttons on this website where we can tie it directly to Shop OP where our incentives that we currently have are housed.
Okay.
So it's already set up where that's possible.
That's great. So, as we already covered, there's no log information here or anything like that, so we're not, forcing people to, collect information, so that makes sense. But I think if we did go down that road, then we'd have to think about that kind of situation. So this is great. I'm happy to see it. So thank you.
Any other comments? I think this is a great idea. I know we've talked about it with the Technology Commission. We talked about it some time ago doing something like this, so I'm glad to see you implement it and be able to do so quickly. It's always good to find other people's stuff to leverage so that we're not reinventing the wheel. So great work on this. Next.
Build OP website launch.
And if you could start by giving us an overview of this.
So as they're setting this up, as part of our economic development, additional economic development efforts, a dedicated Build OP website has been created in-house, and it's and Alex Sharp will just kind of go through and demo this website for everybody.
Good afternoon. So as George referenced, we're continuing to look to improve the village's economic development operations and marketing efforts. And through our research, we found that market data shows that more than 98% of site selectors and businesses are researching location data online. And most of the time, they're not making direct contact with the governing economic development authority at the beginning. So with that in mind, we designed Build OP to be a digital resource for the business and development community to be able to use. The main feature of it is the data center, and I'll just kind of scroll down and show you what it looks like. But this data center that we have access to is powered by an application called Zoom Prospector, and it provides access to in-depth information ranging from demographic and business industry data to available sites and buildings in the village. I'm not going to go through each one of these individually, but I can show you a couple of them just to give you an idea. The Community Snapshot. This provides infographics showcasing key data about the village. So everything from population, age distribution, median age, things of that nature. Each of these tabs represents a different category. So just as another example, income and spending, you can learn information about median household income, income distribution by household, and even expenditures by household. So each of these categories represents different statistics like that. This demographics, business data, and talent pool is a deeper dive into the information in those infographics. And then the other great application here is the sites and buildings database. So this allows us to showcase certain available sites or vacant land that's available in the village and include information on them. So just as an example, you can come in here, see what's available, run searches based off what your needs are. And each individual site has a profile attached to it that includes information on description, street address, size, whether it's for sale or lease, what zoning districts it's in. It's very customizable, so we're able to put in really as much as we want. And then it can also include documents such as marketing brochures and other things that people in the broker community and business community provide us. So that's the main point is the data center there. And then we also put together a developer's toolkit. Here we included that site selection map that I just showed you. We also have links to our zoning map, our development regulations, and another page on our development incentives from the COVID-19 package that was passed last June. And then also a tab for different initiatives that we're doing in the village. So right now we have the Local Business Retention and Expansion Program, a page for that, as well as what's going on in the I-80 corridor. This is the beginning, I would say. We made this and felt that it's at a good point to kind of move forward with the live version. And then as time goes on, we'll continue to adapt and add things to it. So happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani? Oh,
Trustee Healy.
Trustee Healy, sorry. Can't hear where it's coming from.
Tear out of my eyes. The, Alex, I'd like to say thanks. I think this is a great tool that's coming here, and it's a reflection of the professional attitude that you bring to the Economic and Development Advisory Board. You're coming on. You've been here less than 8 months, and to put this product up and help along that way, I just want to say, so far so good. I can't wait to see what's around the corner.
Thank you. And I'll know that this was not just me. We have a lot of other people who've worked on it in our marketing and communication department as well. So,
Fair enough.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani?
There we go. Yeah, this is great. I really think this is a great way for us to kind of facilitate, further economic development. When I was on the Economic Development Advisory Board, we were always talking with Intersect Illinois, and we were trying to get in front of them to try and get our needs known, and those types of things are hard to do, especially now. So to be able to have all of this information out there at people's fingertips so they can see what's available, you're giving the contractors and the developers an actual head start on actually working through our processes. And I think, this is kind of once again showing that we can be more efficient by, leveraging technology, and we've been doing more and more of that. So I appreciate this. I was able to, play with it this weekend, and I thought there was a lot of great information out there. So thanks.
And we're going to keep building on that.
Very good.
Mayor Pecon?
Trustee Dodge?
George, what's the plan to market the site?
George, you want me to answer that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're going to work with communications and marketing department to market it out on our social media channels, as well as use our other constant contact formats to send it to local businesses and continually push it out there. I know from our perspective, when we talk to developers and businesses, we see a trend in the type of information they're asking for. So instead of us always having to maybe do all the legwork, we can also push them to here as well. So it's a resource for us to channel businesses to.
It does a nice job at explaining Orland Park's strengths, which, as we've discussed before, have been built up over a long time, so here we are. And let's just make sure that you continue to push awareness of Orland Park. This happens to be a tool to do that.
Any other comments? Thank you for this, for putting this together, Alex. I know it's something we talked about early on about having a need for, because there's no real place for developers to get data from us. And it was kind of resisted for my first couple years. And I know, George, when we got on, this is something we talked about, kind of took a little bit of a back burner with COVID for a bit. But glad to see that it's up and running. And it does tie to the CSI 80 website, which also uses the same it uses the same platform behind it, which we have a partnership with Tinley and Mokina on that, and it drills down into the I-80 corridor, which is great. And as far as how we're pushing it out, one of the ways we pushed it out was we did have a broker Zoom breakfast, so it really wasn't a breakfast, but a Zoom meeting week and a half ago, and we got information to brokers in the area as well with this. So all good stuff, and I expect to see more good things added to it in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
Selection of an ERP project manager analyst.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani?
Move to recommend to the village board to authorize the village manager to execute a contract with Insight Public Sector Incorporated for Enterprise Resource Planning Project Manager and Analyst for a total contract cost of $613,248 plus a 10% contingency for a total project management expense of $674,573.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mayor Pecon?
Trustee Dodge?
George, just making sure I understand the number. So we had budgeted 1.6, right? 1.4 for Tyler, which is the platform, and then 200 for project management, and this bid 600,000.
So Kevin, can you just kind of go through that?
Sure. So we went through an RFP process. We want to be sure that the the project is implemented well. We know we're investing a significant amount of money in a new ERP process, or a new ERP. We're also looking at quite a bit of process of improvement. We've started that, but in addition to our regular work responsibilities and all of our process improvement, we thought that having a project manager to help us along with our process improvement, but also in coordinating with Tyler Technologies, making sure that they stick on task as well. Having a project manager would help keep the project moving forward when we don't have necessarily additional or excess capacity with existing staff. So there were a number of firms that were contacted. Approximately 75 firms were reached out either directly through us or through BidNet. We received 6 proposals from qualified firms, and then we had a selection team review all of those proposals. We interviewed 3 of those firms, and the firm that rose to the top out of all of those, and we all, the whole selection team, I think, felt the same way, was Insight Public Sector, and they are working with another company called DataClimb. So the folks at DataClimb, we really thought from the beginning that the individual or individuals would really determine whether or not the project was going to be successful, or the project manager would be successful. And we were very impressed with the staffing at DataClimb. They had they were very positive. They had an appropriate level of confidence and drive. We thought that they would work well with our team. So they do have a team of people that have worked with Tyler in the past, and so they do have experience with Tyler Munis specifically, but definitely with Tyler and all sorts of project management experience. We did check their references, and they've worked with large organizations and gotten projects back on track, so we were very pleased to see that. Of all the project management firms that we talked with, Insight and DataClimb had the lowest hourly rate. And throughout our deliberations, we met with them several times, had discussions with them several times about determining appropriate staffing. They actually lowered their rate during that process. So that was definitely the lowest of the finalist firms. So the current staffing model that we identified would be the project manager and the technical analyst would be working on the engagement full-time for the first 3 months to make sure that it gets started off on the right foot. Make sure they assess our needs, get a good understanding of the Village of Orland Park and the individual players that are involved on a staff level and the issues that we're facing, as well as the Tyler team. Then after that first 3 months, the analyst will be full-time on the engagement, and then the project manager would be approximately 12 hours every month. Now that's going to vary throughout the engagement as work ebbs and flows. So this, when we look at the first 3 months of both individuals full-time, that's about $38,880 per month. And then the run rate when the analyst is full-time and the project manager is 12 hours a week, that's about $23,650 per month on average. This is a 2-year engagement, and the total, when you add all that up over the 2 years, is about $613,000. So we added a 10% contingent in the event that the project goes an extra month or two, that we would have to be able to accommodate that.
Mayor Peacock?
Trustee Dodge.
Thank you, because if they do deliver 5,328 hours, it's an effective rate of 115 an hour, which is a pretty good rate, so tip of the hat to staff for getting that. My question is, it looks like we're anticipating having to make a budget amendment, or this is, if I'm doing the math right, this is $400,000 over what we had budgeted?
For this year.
I get the need for a project manager. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that we're assuming a budget amendment and/or additional funds kicked in next year for the project, correct?
Right, so no budget amendment this year, but in future years, this will have to be budgeted.
Right. So do we have any sense for why we didn't anticipate this with Tyler when we came in, we set the budget?
So we set it for the first year, and then we were going to just operationally budget for it in future years.
Thank you.
And the one thing here, it says 2.6 FTEs. I think that's half of that because it's over a 2-year period, so it's 1.3. But still a good hourly rate, as Trustee Dodge pointed out. And obviously, we have to get it implemented properly. My push for staff would be, do not let them run long and get into the contingency. They're consultants. They've given you a price here, work them hard, and make sure it gets done. Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Mayor Peacock?
Aye. Are there any non-scheduled visitors? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Peacock?
Aye. See everybody in 35 minutes.